ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas.
Much love to you, One Nation. Thank you for tuning in to our show, One Nation. I call it our show because we're in this together. So, you're here with your host, Elder Christian R. Norfleet. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Saturday at 2 p.m. Here, you could be anywhere else, but you're here tuned in to One Nation. Thank you for that. And while we're in the thanking mood, I want to take the time to thank our executive producer, Felix Washington, who is also the executive producer and for Wisdom Inc., and that's Wise Individual Structuring, Developing Youthful Minds Incorporated, and that's a 501c3, and One Nation is partnered with him. And his vision for Wisdom Inc. is to get the youth involved and doing background for cinematography, movies, and making things like this that you see on the screen. And that's why we ask you to donate, because that helps the youth get involved, keeps them off the streets, gets them to work with their hands, keeps them out of trouble. So that's our goal, and that's our aim, to support and to help our youth, and also to inform our youth. So that's why we call it Wisdom, Wise Individual Structuring, Developing Youthful Minds Incorporated. So on that Facebook link, if you see the donate button, please donate today. We appreciate it. Every dollar counts. No, nothing too big, nothing too small. You find it in your heart to give to that. And also you can do a Cash App That's Wisdom Inc. WISDYMINC. You can donate there. Any amount, and that's $. You know how the Cash App works. $WISDYMINC. Please do that. We appreciate that. That would be a huge success. And since it's a 501c3, it's also a tax write-off. You know, so when any amount you get, you put it toward, for a tax write-off. Also, I want to take the time for special thanks to Shantae Barksdale. She's the one responsible for the social media, making sure that you get these good programs like these here on TV 1061. Thank you, Shantae, for your help and for your persistence and consistency and faithfulness in this endeavor to inform our people to keep us strong in the fight that is against us. Thank you, Shantae. Also, I want to and another thing, and this is very important, people. This is what I need you to do. This is an election year, okay? This is an election year, so we all know what time it is. I need you to get out and vote. I know the primaries just passed for Georgia, but guess what? In November, you can vote again. So I encourage you to get out and vote. I don't know if you can still get registered, but if you haven't registered to vote, get out and vote. A lot of our people died for the right to vote. So in respect of our ancestors, in respect of the sacrifice and the lives that was laid down for you to vote, please, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, well, that's over the age of 18, of course, get out and vote so that we can make a difference, okay? Thank you for that. Now, our sponsors for today. Our sponsors for the show are, we have, let me see here, Stephanie T. Whitaker for Good Success. She is the president and CEO of that organization. She's connecting people to resources and the number one priority for time and money freedom. What she does is she creates income protection, budgeting strategies, entrepreneurship classes, networking opportunities, sales management training, business building workshops. Her motto is live a legacy, leave a legacy. Live a legacy, leave a legacy. That is Stephanie T. Whitaker. Her phone number is up on the screen, and it's www.tostartover.com. The phone number is there. You can call her as well as call her at this number, 678-833-1657. Please do that. Contact her if you want to get your money right. Live a legacy, leave a legacy. Stephanie T. Whitaker for Good Success. Bridging the Gap. Our second sponsor for this afternoon is my friend, and she's watching as well, Sister Katrina Spencer. Her business is in phlebotomy and laboratory services. The name of her business is Katrina Sticks. Katrina Sticks, phlebotomy and laboratory services, where her motto is, I vein to please. You can contact her at 404-734-2990. Her address is 1400 Veterans Memorial Highway, Southeast Suite 134, Mableton, Georgia, 30126. You can reach her out to her also at katrinasticks@yahoo.com, also at Katrina Sticks on Instagram and Facebook. That is Katrina Sticks, phlebotomy and laboratory services. I vein to please. 404-734-2990. That's Katrina Sticks. Thank you. So now we have that out the way. I want to set it up here. And, quick shout out to Mr. Douglas Burke. Go out and see him in East Atlanta. You'll see his commercial during the break. Shout out to Mr. Douglas Burke. Now, last week, I got into the Willie Lynch letters. And the Willie Lynch letters was a very interesting topic because we had covered quite a bit. And I kind of want to go back over it. I kind of want to recap what we talked about last week. But before we get into that, I want you to watch this video that I found on Facebook. I believe it was sent to me on Facebook and on the messenger. And I want you to watch it. And now the individual that's on here happens to be Minister Louis Farrakhan. Now, Minister Louis Farrakhan, in some circles of society, can be very controversial. He can be very misunderstood. But one thing I can say about Minister Louis Farrakhan is that you're going to get nothing but the truth. And I respect that. A man who can stand flat-footed and tell the truth, I will listen to him and give him my ear. Might not agree with everything he says, but one thing I do know is that that man will stand and speak the truth, and he is for his people, and he loves his people. So that's who you're going to see in the first 2 minutes, and then afterwards, you'll see what else is going on in the news. We're going to discuss that. So watch this clip, and I'll see you in about 4 minutes.
To the militant FOI. Yes, sir. I want you to listen to me good. We're not being trained in here to be militant along the walls in this house. We are being trained militant and militarily so that we can bring order to the streets that are filled with chaos. And if the soldiers can't order the streets and make peace where there's chaos, then get the hell off the wall and don't show me no militant, because you're not a soldier at all. I'm tired of reading about people being killed. I'm tired of seeing young men in the prime of their life snuffed out because some jealous-hearted, silly-minded Negro is so filled with self-hatred. Why should not we rise up and put a stop to this by making examples of such murdering hoodlums? Why should not we chop off the head of such murderer? Make an example of him. White man law moved too slow for the black man. We must make the message loud and clear. We want a peaceful community. We want a community where the elderly can walk the street in peace. We want a community where when these hard-working mothers leave their home going to scrub some white woman's floor to keep payments on a television screen, that some hoodlum will not break into her house and take what she worked so many years for. We want to put a stop to it, and I defy the government of America to question Farrakhan. Farrakhan. Come on and arrest Farrakhan. I will fight you in your courts, and I will fight you in the streets. Because this book, the Holy Quran, is the book that this country will be guided by in the future, particularly black people. God has given us a mandate to establish the Quran, to establish its law, whether you like it or not. We will carry it out, and when you carry us before your unjust judges, I will say to you, like Peter said to those, shall I obey God or shall I obey man? And if God tells me that I should strike them at the base of their necks, taking off the heads of such wicked murderers, then I shall obey God, and to hell with you and your law. I want to know who is with me to put a stop to this murder in the streets. I want to know who is with me to put a stop to this maiming and killing of our people in the streets.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Then either the gangs will stop killing or we kill the gang. We're tired of it. What about you? Are you tired of it? You want to see your baby a prostitute? I don't. I'd rather see your daughter dead than whoring in the street, and I will kill her myself. You say, I don't like this kind of religion. To hell with what you like. This is what God wants. I want to know, are you with me to bring it to reality? Then we serve notice on the police. Serve notice on the city. We're putting a stop to it. Either you come in and clean the community up or get the hell out and leave it to us. We'll clean it up ourselves.
The sounds of gunshots and sirens echoed through Chicago
So they just loaded him up
on a violent weekend.
and called it gang war, drug related.
A weekend that saw at least 61 shootings and 9 homicides, including the killing of 3-year-old McKay James,
We heard 6 shots, probably 6 to 8 shots going off.
who witnesses say was in a car with his father in the South Austin neighborhood.
The kid had got hit in the car, and they drove the kid straight to West Suburban.
The child was pronounced dead. Police say the 27-year-old father was the intended target, and he is not cooperating with detectives.
How y'all doing? Could I leave you with a card?
This morning, community activist Andrew Holmes canvassed the neighborhood seeking information on the suspect.
Block by block, let's find the shooter.
Holmes, who also lost a child to violence, was shaken by the toddler's killing.
But excuse my language. It take a damn fool to discharge that weapon. Happy Father's Day to you! Now what you gonna do?
The outrage over a toddler being shot and killed brought pastors and community activists out to the block where it happened Sunday to denounce the violence.
It would be an ultimate contradiction to pastor in this neighborhood and not say a word about a 3-year-old who can't defend himself and cannot speak for himself.
Several community groups raised $10,000 as a reward for information leading to the suspect's arrest. About an hour after the toddler was shot, just blocks away, 2 men were shot, one of them fatally. And an hour after that, about a half a mile away, 3 teenagers were shot, including a 13-year-old girl who was killed. Police say she was in her home simply watching TV.
The bullet goes through the window, striking her in the neck and causing her death.
And in South Shore, a 17-year-old boy and a 16-year-old boy were killed near 79th and South Uella Avenue after they had gone to the corner store.
This offender runs up with a gun and shoots and kills 2 of these guys for no reason at all.
The police superintendent says there's a common thread in all the violence.
Gangs, guns, and drugs. And no consequences when Chicago cops make arrests.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you learned something from that. There are some things in there I'm sure that some of you might not agree with, might be a little bit extreme, but we're living in some extreme times, don't you agree? When little babies are getting killed in the street, 3-year-old innocent children getting killed and slain by stray bullets. Matter of fact, last night I watched on the news right in Atlanta, an old man got killed. They shot up his house, got killed right in his house. How many times, how much blood is going to get shed before we step up and say something? We say, well, we don't want the police handling our affairs. Well, we got to police ourselves. So black men, we need to control ourselves. We need to control our anger. And when we get back from a commercial break, I want to talk to you about that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do some teaching. When we get into this Willie Lynch letters, and we're going to discuss what we need to do and how we need to conduct ourselves in our community. I hope that you learned something. So we're going to see you back here in about 2 minutes. Stay tuned to One Nation, not just a show, but a movement.
So many Black lives incarcerated. So many Black lives silenced. When will we stop the madness?
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom, Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives.
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia 30316 in East Atlanta Village.
Welcome back to One Nation with your host, Christian Norfleet. Now, real quickly, I want to get to these letters. Now, I want to do a recap. Last week, I talked to us about the Willie Lynch letters, and you get a chance, Google it, look it up on your Google search, and you'll be able to find it. Now, one of the things that they use in the Willie Lynch letters, and I talked about this last week, was color and shade. The shade of color, the light skin versus the dark skin. Also, there's intelligence, size and sex, sizes of plantation, social statuses on the plantation, and attitude of the owner. Whether the slaves live in the valley or on a hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action, but before that, I shall assure you that listen to this, distrust is stronger than trust, and envy stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The key is to get you to be distrusting of everybody. Everybody distrusts everybody. Whites distrusting the blacks, light skin distrusting the dark skin, old men distrusting the young men, women distrusting the men. So as long as you have distrust and disrespect in the community, you cannot come together and be one community or one nation. This is part of the Willie Lynch syndrome. Now listen, the black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Because think about it, if your self-esteem has been affected, you have to consistently and constantly rebuild your mind, rebuild your body, rebuild to think of, to be the person that you're trying to be. Because if you're constantly being broken down and being told what you can't do and who you're not, especially with a lack of identity, how will you be able to establish yourself as a human being? It's impossible, because everything about you has been stripped away from you. So now you are totally distrusting of people and even of yourself. You don't even trust in yourself or your ability. And then to be handed down a religion on top of that, that tells you that you are controlled and that you're weaker and that you're inferior and that you have to be dependent upon white capitalism or white supremacy. If everything around you, surrounded around you is white, that's what you're going to depend on. That's what you're going to think is God. So in our mind, we have a complex in the black community to think that God is white and that everything around us is white. It's a white structured pyramid. That's what we're looking at. We're believing that the white person, the white community, the white man has all the power. We run to the white man first for his admiration, his adoration. We want his approval. If we don't get the white man's approval, then we're nothing. It don't matter who else tells us that we're great. If I don't hear it from the white man, then I'm not great. That's the type of society they built. Okay? This is right here in the letters. All right? So it says, don't forget you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male, and the young black male versus the old black male. The young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves. Remember, the house Negro, the field Negro, that type of situation going on, all right? So you must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. Black women don't trust black men. That's not a news flash. We don't trust each other. We don't think that we're capable of taking care of each other. But it's been designed that way. That's been indoctrinated in our psychosis. This is the way we think. This is how it is. And it's very hard to get it established. How are you going to get people to become one if they don't trust? If you don't trust, it's like, okay, you being in a relationship with if a man and woman get into a relationship, if that man don't trust that woman, or that woman don't trust that man, they cannot build a relationship. Relationship is built upon trust. If I don't trust you, I can't have a relationship with you. You understand that? So that's why the name of the game is to get you to constantly distrust your neighbor or your fellow black brethren. He says, but you must also have servants and overseers who distrust all blacks. That's where the police officers come in. That's why when you get police officers coming in, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them, mostly the white ones that have this distrust in them, they'll come and ask you questions. What are you doing? What are you up to? Where are you headed to? To give you the sense of whatever that you're doing, and whether good or bad, it's already a presumption of guilt. You understand? That's why they come to the car ready to shoot you or kill you, because already in their minds, we don't trust you Negroes. We don't trust nothing that you're doing because you're always up to no good. This is what's been taught to them. It's indoctrinated. Some of them is not even their fault. It's just the way they've been taught. This is part of the Willie Lynch syndrome, okay? So it says they must love, respect, and trust only us. I just talked about that. Talking about religion, talking about capitalism here, government. They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kits are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intentionally for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Thank you, gentlemen. Now, part of that distrust, what leads to black on black crime? What leads to the black man killing his young black brother in the hood? Whether y'all selling drugs or somebody getting somebody's woman or whatever, somebody getting killed. Why are they getting killed? Gang related or whatever. It's because I don't trust you. You know how it is because growing up some of you grew up in the hood, you understand the lingo. I don't trust that nigger. I don't trust that Negro. I don't trust him. There's something about I don't like. So immediately you go on the defense. And instead of you getting to know your brother, to love your brother, listen, we got to be together on the same side. We get mad when the police kill us. Well, how much more should we get upset when your own brother kills you? You my brother. You shouldn't even, you know, the story in the Bible in the Old Testament about Cain and Abel. Cain killed his brother because he was jealous of Abel. Some of you are killing your own brothers, your own kind, because of jealousy. And that's been put in by white supremacy. That's been put in by white indoctrination to make you distrustful and hateful of your own kind, of your own brother. So it's important for you to first learn about yourself and your identity. And then when you learn about who you are, then you'll take a different perspective, a different mindset on how to approach your brother or your sister. So black people, black men particularly, what I need you to do is stop killing. Put the guns down. Go embrace your brother. Go and love your brother. Not in a sexual way, a homosexual way, but in a loving way. Love your brother because we are the #1 target here in America. And how dare you pick up a gun and join on the same team, on the same people who oppose you. You are fulfilling the stereotype. So what I need you to do is stop and think, work it out, talk it out, and let's come together and let's build this nation. I'm so glad that you tuned in. I wish I had more, but my time is just about out. But before we leave, here's what I need you to do. If you enjoyed this program and you want more of this program, I need you to go to the Wisdom Inc. link on Facebook and donate. If you're not on the Wisdom Inc. link, then here's what I need you to do. Here's another option. I need you to go to the Cash App. $WISDYMINC. That is Wise Individual Structuring and Developing Youthful Minds. It's a incorporation, a nonprofit corporation that was started by Felix Washington, our executive producer here at TV 1061. I need you to show your support to this brother here who is doing the work, trying to save our youth, trying to get our youth off the streets and get them to do something productive. We have to come together. That's why One Nation is partnered with Wisdom Link, so we can save our youth, so we can save our nation. So please, if you are compelled to do so, I need you to give. Now, some of you might have a business, particularly black businesses, because that's what we're supporting. I need you to go out, and if you have a business that you want advertised here on TV 1061, guess what you can do? You can contact us here. Here's the email, 1061tv@gmail.com. 1061tv@gmail.com. You can also direct message us on Facebook and also on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. If you have a business that you want to be advertised, promoted here on this show and on TV 1061 with the other shows that he shows on this program, please, 1061tv@gmail.com. I won't be on next week. Of course, we all know about July 4th, which is independence for America, but particularly wasn't for us. So, once again, I will be back in about 2 weeks with some more information. If you have any comments, questions, and concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I love y'all dearly. I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. I hope everything that I said to you makes a difference in your lives. We will see you back here in 2 weeks here on One Nation. Not just a show, but a movement. Much love. Peace.